All right, Let's Build a Theme Park was made by MCI, right? Yeah, MCI from RCT2 Germany. And the cool thing about this park is that he posted the entire building process on YouTube in 1 hour segments that were sped up to be 15 minutes in length. I believe there's like 130 park or 130 segments or so. So if you want, you can spend like what? Yeah, like an entire weekend watching him build this park in front of your eyes. And it's even better if you speak German, because then you can actually understand what the hell he's saying. At least for the first like 100 videos or so. But the other thing about this, for me, I didn't start watching the videos until I think he was working on the Hobbit area, which is right here. So I'm pretty familiar with the Hobbit area, the Roman area, and the post-apocalypse area. But everything before that, I have not really seen, so it's pretty cool.
Wasn't Skyrim a failed design?
The hypercoaster?
Yeah, the hypercoaster in the middle. I think it was.
Now, he had a let's see. I know he released a wooden coaster design. Oh my gosh, he released a wooden coaster design that was NCSO. I believe that was a failed design as well. Let's check his releases. I don't think so. He has a Valhalla that was a failed design, which is the one coaster. Yeah, that was released in July. But anyways, yeah. Skyrim, yeah, there's so many Skyrim things. One thing I want to say, this is really clever, is using integrating the track into the supports. Like this track here, because he has this hacked lift, this B&M track lift, he used the hypercoaster track, or the intimate track, to complete the circuit so you could have block break sections, and he integrated that sort of dummy track, I guess you would say, into the supports, which is pretty cool. Because of course with NCSO you can't really hide them. I mean, I guess you can, but that's some people don't want to do hardcore NCSO where everything has to be NCSO. So that's pretty cool. I liked how he integrated that. And I think this is definitely the best coaster in the park. The intimate coaster. The interaction is pretty cool, and the layout's pretty decent as well. And like how it kind of goes between a bunch of areas. So let's start here. I actually really quite like the entrance. It isn't really themed to anything, which is nice. It's kind of just generic park entrance, I guess. And you kind of open up to these themed areas. I really like these rows of buildings for the queue for the Aero coaster, a Spanish themed Aero coaster. And I think this Asian Japanese, yeah, this Japanese facade is probably one of my favorite in the games, with these custom roofs and the integration of these NCSO pagodas is really nicely done. Overall, I think the first and the little entrance area is pretty solid with the first two coasters. And then we have a log flume. Not really themed. I mean, I guess I don't know what this theme is. Stream of Time. Yeah. not really that themed, which I don't really mind at all. I mean, right needs to be super hyper themed, 100%. A park like this. Over here, we have the post-apocalyptic section. I believe. Sorry if I'm getting these things wrong, but that's what I remember. And again, he uses the supports that integrates the dummy track into the supports, which is pretty cool. Not the biggest fan of this coaster. I like some of the placements and the interaction, but I don't think this area is as strong as some of the other ones. Probably a more difficult theme to do with NCSO. Some of the structures are nice, but I don't think it's quite as strong as some of the other areas.
I quite like it, but I can't really put my hand on why.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how we use these brick walls that not a lot of people use.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yes, this is all vanilla or NCSO, no custom scenery objects. NCSO and vanilla are the same thing. Actually, I quite like this little area with these cars and buses and this boat. That's pretty cool. They're well done. The like backstage area here. And then we go into the Hobbit area. Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I have never seen Lord of the Rings movies except for half of the last one, so I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm an uncultured fraud that doesn't know anything. So I don't know any of the references except for the Hobbit holes, I guess, which I saw the first Hobbit movie, which was fucking awful. But
Well,
the Hobbit holes right there. It's cool. Actually, I probably like this little kiddie coaster. I like how he has the maze like inside the footprint. I like the interaction it has. I think the layout's pretty nicely done for the height. And overall, I really like the Hobbit holes themselves. I think it's a pretty nice area. Well planned. You kind of have like the hill already here, and it just feels natural. You have this area in this place of the park. And I don't know what this area is themed to. Germany? Is it a German area? Maybe, I don't know. And these facades are pretty cool. I'm sure this is inspired by some real park. I'm sure there's some real park who has something similar to this, but the supports here are actually pretty cool. I like how it looks like a drawbridge type thing. I guess I don't really, or like a crane. I don't really know what they're called, but a pretty cool ride. Yeah. Nicely hidden too into the facades of these buildings. Yeah. Some more buildings. This is more into the resort section of the park with the hotel and the beach, which I really like the hotel. I think it's pretty well done. And the mini golf beach chairs, I don't know what they're called. Oh my gosh, whatever they're called in real life.
lounge chair.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, it's a really clever way of doing this. I like this.
Yeah, usually they kind of like, people do this, they look way too big and out of scale, but I think you separate this enough from the rest of the park that it doesn't feel like it's totally out of scale. If you had Peace walking around here, you'd be like, what the hell? These things are like 20 feet tall, but that's okay. Let's see.
That slide would be awesome in real life.
Yeah, I like how he had that. It's a pretty large slide too. We'll go over to the jungle area, I want to say. Jungle editor. The invert coaster. Quite like how the lift is like over the like the little area right here. I don't know, like the midway, I guess. And then the rapids too is also pretty cool. I liked how we use some of these more unique objects, like the mushrooms and the big flowers. The rapids ride looks pretty cool. I like it. How it goes over the path too. It's a nice touch. It's a nice ride interaction. It also has the monster truck 4x4 car ride, which is pretty well done. The building's a little bit gray, I guess, for this area. I don't know. Everything like in this area seems like tan or green, and this building's gray, which is kind of weird. But invert's pretty solid. Like I said, I like how the lift is over the path here. Obviously not the most realistic of layouts in this park, but it doesn't really try to be a realistic park, so that's okay. And I think the stats on this coaster are actually pretty, well, just kidding. I'm terrible, but that's okay. Can't really get good stats on inverts. Pretty solid area. Actually, I quite like this area. Probably my second or third favorite behind the Japan and the Skyrim area, I guess. And then we come to the Roman area, which is probably the largest, I guess, in the park. Definitely, I guess, has the most content. It has this huge flying coaster called Volair. Again, some really cool interaction. And supports from where they are pretty well done. Like I liked how he supported the mid-course brake one in the lift and like the inversions and stuff. Pretty intense flying coaster. I like how they had this entrance under the huge loop. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It's a neat little feature. I like this coaster a lot in general.
Yeah, I think the colors are pretty well chosen too.
Yeah.
I think the real shame with this area is that the architecture is so bland. Like everything's like these boring gray walls with these flat roofs. Or like not flat, but boring roofs. Kind of wish the architecture a little bit more interesting and layered in this area, I guess. But
It does feel a bit dull, yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit dull. Like the palace is a little bit better, but I think there could have been a little bit more done with the palace to make it seem a little bit more.
I mean, even more like columns and stuff.
Yeah, more detail and more variance in texture and stuff. Quite like the horse stables actually, how the queue's kind of integrated into the buildings here. They're probably some of the better buildings in the area. I really like how this coaster just totally dominates this whole area. Like it's pretty large, and you can probably see it from anywhere in the Roman area, and even probably in the surrounding areas as well. Then we have the flume, which goes around this part of the area. I'm not really sure what this is. World record. All these orange things in it, or yellow things. I don't really know what this is, but that's fine. Doesn't matter.
It's a world record.
Yeah,
It's a world record for.
It's a world record for most gun drops in a park. This is a pretty unique ride. That he has the Virginia reels, kind of like this flat track. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a ride like this before. Park. Yeah, pretty solid area. A little bland in the architecture, but the layout is pretty solid. He has this pretty cool facade for this water show as well. And we go over to, I have no idea what this area is. Fenrir, I don't know. Mountain.
Is it Steve?
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve.
It's probably my favorite, well, probably the most intense or like memorable coaster, I'd say, from this park. For me, like this huge terrain wooden coaster. It's just massive. It's like, yeah, just massive. Totally unrealistic, but that's okay. Who cares? It's fun. And he has all these signs taking a bunch of people, which is cool. It's probably my favorite station in the park. I guess this is like the devil. I don't know, because he has these horns. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I don't know what these things mean, but it's pretty cool. You walk onto the station to enter the area and have like a little area for this coaster inside the footprint. It's just such a long coaster too. Like there's tons of air time and pretty quick as well. And the train really makes it pretty cool. It's super fast, I guess, but who cares? It's fine. It's not supposed to be realistic at all. Yeah, pretty solid coaster. I actually really like this lighthouse, the flaming lighthouse. Like on one of the highest points of the park. You can probably see it from most of this half of the park. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's definitely a solid park. Probably one of the largest NCSO parks you've ever seen. Probably the largest, well, maybe not ever seen, but certainly in recent times. There's some really cool theming, and it all seems pretty well planned as well. Maybe the architecture could have been a little bit better. Probably my biggest complaint is some of the architecture is just kind of boring and square. Maybe could have been a little bit more creative with the use of track or different objects. Try to make the architecture a little bit more interesting. I think when he uses track, like these stations, it's a lot better than these custom scenery or these custom stations with the default scenery in game. Now we can just run this one good. So I guess. Excuse me. So yeah, another really solid park.
Oh no.
And I think the best thing about this that really shows the determination and the patience and the ability to stick with one project. I mean, to undertake something like this where you and record and do commentary over literally every second of building. It's pretty incredible, and it's pretty awesome to see that he actually finished the whole thing and didn't get bored or deterred from finishing it. It's a pretty awesome park, and it's good to see some more NCSO work, especially on this scale that we really haven't seen that much recently. But yeah, another park that's very worthy of a download. Definitely should be looked at. It's a pretty well done park. I quite like. So yeah, head over to Any and download these two parks. They're great. Some of the better releases we've had since the end of head-to-head. We actually had a lot of solid releases these last couple of weeks, which is really awesome to see. We had a dry spell for a really long time after head-to-head. We didn't really have much. So yeah, happy to see all this stuff finally finished. And hopefully, Let's Build a Theme Park 2 will be started soon.
Is there really going to be another one?
I think he said something about it. I don't remember what he said though. Let me see if I can find what he said. Yeah, he said streaming some smaller projects and working on some other stuff, but there will be another or a new Let's Build like this one at some point.
Exciting.
So yeah, awaiting another 150 episode YouTube series, building a giant park. Maybe next time, not NCSO, maybe.
Maybe.
The only thing I fear is that if he builds a similar park again, it might not be quite as interesting to see them build the same park again. But anyways,